hair. Do I gotta stare at you like this?
For today at least. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So I'm sending the sound from the main computer over there into the laptop, and then I've got you on the laptop, and I'm using NDI to send it over here. So we need to check and see that it's gonna look okay. Talk to me.
Talking to you. A B C D E F G H I J K L M N O P
Okay, hang on a second.
R S T U. Okay.
All right, try it again.
A B C D E F G H I J K L M N O P.
Okay, now try again.
A B C D E F G H I J K L M N O P Q R S T U V W X Y and Z.
And there's just the slightest bit of delay, but I don't think it's anything really different than has been in the past. And our frame rate is good. Okay, cool. All right, let me bring up my audio. Hello, hello. Whoa, let me turn down the. There we go. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome to those on YouTube. Let me hit go live on Facebook. Hey, everybody. Welcome to our live recording. Let's see. Got to adjust the camera just a bit. Okay. Glad you guys are all here. Hello to those that will be joining and watching later. My name's Dave Curley, and we're going to be doing the live taping of live in the past. The live taping of the Church Media Guy show. Justin is with me. Let me see how our dual shot looks. All right, say hi to everybody.
What's going on, everyone? I just checked the YouTube and it is looking and sounding good. I can hear you. I don't know about me. I guess we'll find out in just a second.
Yes, we will. Let me check the full screen here. All right, talk to me one more time. I'm checking the sync.
So I just checked my audio on YouTube. It is a little lower than yours.
Okay.
A little tinny.
Yeah.
A little tinnier than usual.
All right, let me make the adjustment. The problem is I've got just a slightest bit of. We'll have to tweak this, I think. I'll probably have to tweak this a little bit later.
Okay.
Interesting. Okay. So I think we're ready. I'm not going to do a dual screen with either of us. I'm just going to pop back and forth.
I thought the dual screen looked all right.
Yeah, but the problem is the sync. So it'll be easier for me to slip your audio into sync if you're full screen than if it's the other way. But
Gotcha.
I'm gonna try this and see. Boy, I tell you, I do not know. Man, ever since I went up to High Sierra, this has become an issue. I don't know why Apple can't just keep stuff good. I wonder, when you're looking at the screen during a live screen, when you have a live stream going, you get the comments going on the right hand side, and you got the window.
Yep.
Do you know? Is there a way to let's see? Pause. That does pause. So if I pause it though, does the comment still work? Try a comment in there real quick.
Well, you can't pause a live stream.
No, I did. I hit pause on the actual playback of the live stream. Yeah, okay, I see that you joined. Okay, so I can see. All right, good. Because one of the things...
Did you see my comment, hey, everyone?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you pause the video, but you can still see the comments.
Yes, and that's what I want to do. I don't want to... The less processing is interesting.
Oh, okay. Makes sense.
Yeah, okay. This is really interesting. Okay. I wish I could just like pop the comments out by themselves and have be their own little thing.
Ecamm does that.
That's cool.
Ecamm is like almost there. Like
Yeah.
I would be bothering you. Can we just use Ecamm? It's almost there. There's just a few things that we need to be able to do that you can't do on Ecamm.
Right. Hang on one sec.
All right. Oh, thanks. You switched to me when I was sitting here with my mouth wide open, just typing a comment. Let me see if I can brighten my. Let me see if I can brighten my video up here, because it is a little dark.
Okay, do what?
I said, well, first I said, oh, thanks for cutting to me when I was just had my mouth wide open, just typing a comment. I'm sitting there like, if anyone watches Community, and more specifically the deleted scenes of Community, there's a character called Chang. He's the evil character, and they have what's called the Chang tongue. Whenever he's not talking in the background, he's like this. You would never notice it unless you watch the deleted scenes, and then you realize that's true. He does that in every scene. When he's in the background, he's just sitting there, and it's really funny. So yeah, that's kind of what I was like. I was just sitting here typing away.
I wonder. I'm gonna try something here. Keep talking to me.
Wants to worship like they did in the 40s. Everyone, is comfortable, and when new things happen, there's going to be what I lovingly call, and I will call this to their face and tell them I love them, stumps in the road, stumps in the ground. And so what we did was, when we heard this resonating in the insiders, and then further heard it resonating with the people that just follow us on our email list, it was like, okay, we got to actively go find not just who's available. We need to actively track down some people that have experience with this. So first we got Jeanette Yates, who was on the show, published a couple weeks ago, using technology to bridge generations. But today we're gonna do our interview with Michael Lukaszewski. And I hope I said that. It's either Lukaszewski or Lukaszewski.
It's Lukaszewski.
Exactly. It's Lukaszewski. I said it in the first.
Yeah.
First. He's with Church Fuel, and he coaches pastors in churches across the world and helps them grow their church, and talks with them and coaches them through overcoming their obstacles. And so it said we took this big problem and we actually tracked down Michael, and he was gracious enough to give us an interview. This dude is oozing wisdom and oozing experience, and I'm just really excited for that. So this is going to be a good episode. No one's watching live yet, but we'll just record it.
I'm gonna end this meeting, and I'm gonna bring you back over here and see if it's better. Okay?
Okay, sure.
We're going to see if we can make this work, guys. I appreciate y'all's patience. Just trying to... here he comes. And there you are. All right, talk to me.
I'm here.
Okay.
So what I figured out is if I just copy the meeting ID,
Uh-huh.
join it manually through Zoom, it doesn't switch the account.
Oh, okay, good. Okay.
All right, I still feel like I'm a little dark.
It's because you're Hispanic and you have a natural swarthy appearance.
And now I'm a redneck. Let me see if I can just bring this webcam settings. We need to do a pro tip on this someday.
Yeah, it's a great tool.
Okay, I just brought the brightness up, so just a little bit.
Okay, awesome. All right, let's see. All right, there you are. Talk to me again.
I am here. I am not a deer. I have no fear. What's your sear on your steak? I don't know.
Yeah, that makes sense.
When we were testing earlier, I brought up a whole bunch of Jerry Seinfeld quotes. I was just going to start reading those off.
Oh, that would have been awesome.
I'll have to bookmark this. A 2-year-old is kind of like having a blender, but you don't have a top for it. Yeah, I'm bookmarking this.
That's awesome. I dig it. I dig it. Okay. All right, so we're going to get started here. I can stop L Music. Okay. Thank you guys so much for your patience. Justin and I really appreciate it. We're just trying something here. I'm trying to make this as smooth as possible. Like I said, I've been having problems since I updated to High Sierra. My nice smooth machine kind of desmootherized. I'm going to be getting a couple of new processors for it to, get it up to a, let's see, 12 core, I guess it would be, dual 6 cores. So
Cool.
that'll definitely help. In fact, I may even get a new video card. I didn't tell you about this, Justin. I might get some sort of a really big screamer that,
Sweet.
like sell a car and then go get a video card.
I like it.
They're getting stupid expensive. All right, guys, we're going to get started here. Justin, you're going to do the pro tip, correcto?
Yep. And
All right.
and you'll have to jump in there too, because you'll
Sure.
probably have a couple things because you've been using it longer than I have.
Yeah, no problem. No problem. And I'll do the what do you call it? After the pro tip, I'll do the free resource. We'll talk about the hacks group again. And then I'll close it with a CTA to join. Okay?
Sounds good.
Rock and roll. Okay. Boop, 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 boop.
I guess it's my allergies. I just can't breathe through my nose today.
Oh, great.
Just gonna have to sit here open mouth.
You shouldn't have mocos just coming out like crazy all over your lip.
I wish. I can't get it out. It's all up here.
All right, let's see here. Jiggy, 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 jiggy. Getting jiggy with it. Okay. Has this ever happened to you? You're sitting there with a fantastic idea. You want to live stream. You want to do a digital bulletin. You want to do digital newsletter, whatever like that. You go and you take it to your church leadership, and the first thing that comes out of their mouth is, "We've never done it like that before. That's not going to work. This is not how we do things here at our church." That's what we're going to be talking about today. All right.
Man, what a downer. All that's missing is Miss Eleanor. This one's for you.
There you go. All right, here we go. Let's see. Let me see if I can try a peppier one. Hang on. Are you creative? Do you have ideas just oozing out of you? You ever taken any of those really cool ideas to anybody in your church leadership and they say, "We've never done it like that before. That's not how we do things around here." And you're like, "But it's going to work. It's going to be brilliant." And they're like, "Well, I've never done anything like that. I don't think we're going to do that." Well, guys, today we're going to talk about how to overcome that. There you go.
That was a good one.
Okay, thank you. Nice try.
And then obligatory. Bow now. Is that it? Was that close? That was pretty close.
That's like the underlaying music. Yeah, that's the little bed before the da 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 da.
Yeah, there you go. That's
there
what I was
you
trying
go.
to sing. I listen to that every week when I make the highlight reel. I
Yeah.
just don't know what the other stuff sounds like.
You poor thing. And you're a musician and you're like creative and stuff. I don't get it. You just make stuff up in your head.
I do.
It's not how we've ever done that before.
Well, we're going to talk about that. I'm going to take notes, but I'm going to do it for Dave. How do I convince Dave? And I'm sure Dave's going to do the same thing. I'm going to convince Justin.
Mike says to stroke his ego. Okay. All right, here we go. Hey, all you crazy kids out there. Welcome to another episode of the Church Media Guys Show. In case we haven't met, my name is Dave Curley, and I'm the founder of ChurchTrainingAcademy.com, which is a website and a community of folks just like you and me who are learning how to use and exploit media and technology so we can take the gospel to the world and reach the people, the nations, the families, change lives, do all that wonderful stuff. With me, as always, is my lovely and talented co-host, Mr. Justin Nava. Hello, sir.
What's going on, Dave? And what's going on, everyone? Today is a very special episode because this is something that we keep hearing almost to a frustrating degree, because we say, hey, what do you guys want to learn? You want to learn this? Do you want to learn streaming? Do you want to learn audio? Do you want to? And people keep coming back saying we need to learn how to get our church unstuck from the past. So we found what I think is the ultimate resource to help you get started moving forward in that direction. So this episode, I think, is going to be a special place and one that's going to be replayed several times for everyone. Am I hyping it up too much? That's honestly how I feel.
No, I think you're right. I think it's one of the things that kind of plagues us. I mean, there've been a long time. I mean, we've been talking with our buddy, the local guy here. I won't mention his name, but it's a friend of yours and mine who's in church ministry and who is going through a bunch of projects and stuff. And he keeps running into some of these types of things where he comes up with a communications idea or a creative idea or something, and then he says, coming up with the idea, proving the concept to, a handful of people, great, but then you start getting to the decision makers and stuff, and he says, like trying to push a rope, because, well, we haven't done that before. That's not how we do things. We've been doing it like this for a long time, and it works and stuff. And he's sitting there going, no, it's not. I mean, it's one of these things that I remember doing this when I was a kid, when we were in when I was getting into youth group and we started doing praise and worship music. And back then we didn't have like the digital projectors and stuff. We had like a transparency unit, where you write on it and it's got the little hook, that comes up with the periscope and shines on the wall. Old style, right? So we did that, and then we actually had slides made. So we had the slide deck, literally, where it's click it, with the new slides. We were doing that stuff, and I remembered there was so much pushback from like my grandmother and her friends and all this. My grandmother was always kind of silently cool about it, but all her friends were all, that's not how you're supposed to do it. That's not how Jesus did it. And I'm like going, oh yeah, no, Jesus saying pass it on and old rugged cross. I remember he led him in old rugged cross right there on the Sermon on the Mount, while he was preaching out of the King James. So, it's a struggle that we all have to deal with and stuff. And I'll tell you, when talking with Mike, he is really, he really, it's interesting. And I think we mentioned this in the clip we're going to show. One of the things that Mike has done is unknowingly, is he kind of dovetailed into what Jeanette was saying in our episode with her, talking about bringing the older generation along and speaking to them and helping get buy-in and all this kind of stuff. It's like these two episodes together are like a 1-2 punch on moving into the current time, I think, and bringing them happily and excitedly into some of the new technology and new methods and new trends and things like that. I think these two episodes together are like a great like a great movie. Here's the prequel and the sequel together,
Absolutely.
Okay, yeah,
and you and I are just filling in the gaps with Rogue One and Han Solo and whatever is coming up next.
Yes. Oh, by the way, I saw Solo earlier this week. This is for those of you watching live. This Solo doesn't come out till I think it's next weekend, right?
Next Friday.
Yeah, next Friday. So another week. I used to do an entertainment show. Used to do a movie reviews and stuff called the Entertainment Geeks. And so my buddy, who is a critic, called me up and said, "Hey, You want to come see Solo with me on Monday? I was like, yeah. So I went and saw it. It was awesome. It was great. By the time this airs, you guys have probably already seen Solo, and if you haven't, you need to go see it. It's really cool. I'll tell you the things that people were worried about. Can this guy play Han Solo? Can he be like Harrison Ford and stuff? I liken it to James Bond. We've got we've got 5 or 6 different people over the past 60 years that have played James Bond, and we all kind of have our favorite and stuff. But anytime you watch a Bond movie, it's definitely Bond, right? There's this essence of Bond. He has the essence of Solo, which is great. All the stuff you love about Han, this dude is delivering as a young and brash version of it. So it's brilliant. It's good job.
Okay, well that's good.
Yeah, that was free.
Looking on Facebook, Facebook stopped. YouTube's still going.
Facebook stopped?
Facebook's frozen.
Okay, hang on. I wonder if there's something going on at Restream. Facebook is frozen. Bear with us, YouTube folks. Huh?
Yeah, it seems like the audio's out too.
That's weird. I wonder if Facebook is having a problem. All right, let me get you out of full screen. Okay, I'm going to move my hand real big here. I'm doing this to see if it shows up because I seem to have stuff. Ramon says it's working. It must be on your end.
Okay, well, yeah. I only said so because Tommy said buffering.
Well, that could
reload the page here again.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that could just be them. I mean, it could be Facebook having an issue. Remember last Sunday it had issues.
Yeah, last Sunday it had the issues with going out. Maybe it's just having issues with the delivery. Yeah, it's working now. Okay. Good.
Cool. All right. I'm going to go ahead and pause it on my side just so it doesn't jack up. Hello to everybody. Hello, Ramon. Hello, Tommy. Hello, Rudy. Hello, anyone and everyone that is out there. Glad you guys are all watching. We're going to pick it up here. Let me get Justin back up on full screen. No, not that. Okay, we get Justin up here. And now we're going to go ahead and move into our part where we're doing our pro tip. You're just so proud of yourself, aren't you?
Yep.
Yeah. You look like when the dog kills a lizard and brings it up and sets it down right at your feet, and he's like, "Look what I did."
I do good. I'm just glad I can come up with something different every week.
All right, I've got you on full screen, so you pick it up with our pro tip.
All right. Hey, real quick, does it help if we do like a whole nother intro for the pro tip since it's a separate thing on YouTube, or does that throw off the podcast?
What I do, let me bring up the duel. What I do, what I did this last week is for the YouTube version, and I'll let you guys know, the audience know. What I'm doing is I'm cutting the pro tip out of the YouTube version, which is also the version that gets dropped into our blog post, so that the people on YouTube can see the intro, see us talk about, kind of chit chat here for about a minute, and then immediately get into the meat of the thing. So the podcast version has it all in there. Okay, that's what we're doing. So you can basically talk about the concept and all that, and then we'll turn around and we'll make a video which is more in depth, maybe how to install it, how to work it between 2 machines or something like that. So I think when I'm cutting it together, I just basically, as soon as we get to the end of the conversation, like I say, so Solo was really good, y'all need to go see it or something like that. Boom, that's when our little intro for the pro tip is, and that's what I actually cut out. It's like a clean section that easily
I can just go right into it like we've been talking. I don't have to do like, in today's video you're gonna learn how to...
No. You just just go straight to this week's pro tip is blah 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 blah, or this cool. Call it a cool hack or something like that. Let me get you back up on the screen all by yourself. There you are. You're looking beautiful. All right, go for it.
For today's pro tip, I want to share with you a pretty sweet tool that helps me in my productivity, and I think can help you, and not only in your office wherever you're at, but also in your sound booth if you have a little bit more of a advanced or more bigger setup. I don't know what word I'm trying to think of there, but if you
More
have more
involved?
computers, more involved, yeah. If you have more computers in your sound booth or audio booth, your tech booth, this tool is really going to help you try to manage all of those at once when you're a one-man band. And that tool is called Synergy, and that's made by a company called Simless. And what Synergy is it takes your one keyboard and mouse and it allows you to use it across multiple computers. So for example, right now on the computer I'm using is a Mac computer, but I also have another computer to my right that's a Windows computer, and it's actually a Mac computer, but it's running Windows OS. But instead of having two separate computers and two separate keyboards and mice, I have one keyboard and mouse, and I'm running Synergy on both computers. And what that does is it treats the computers like they're two screens on the same computer. So I can be on my mouse and keyboard over here, and then when I need to use my Windows only software, I just simply drag my mouse over to the side like it's a second screen, and I start using this one. It's super easy. It's easy to install. In fact, they really dumbed it down. I was telling Dave, Dave had to one up me because I told Dave, yeah, I've been using this software since 2008. And Dave was like, well, I've been using it since 2006. So he knows a little, he's got a little bit up me. He's got a little bit of a jump on me there. But, you know, Dave, it used to be a little complicated because you had to manually input IP addresses and find the server and set the port and all that. They completely dumbed it down for better and for worse a little bit to where you literally just install it on one computer, you install it on the second computer, it automatically finds both computers on the network, hooks them together. You can lay them out wherever you want. So you can have the other computer on top, below, to the left, to the right. You can hook multiple computers up, and this is where it comes in handy if you're a one-man band in the audio booth like ours is. We have a Windows computer running our presentation software, and then we have a Mac computer running our stream. And what we can do is we set up Synergy on one computer, Synergy on the other computer. And if there's a one-man band and he's got to go over and start the stream, instead of getting up and walking over to the computer and using the separate keyboard and mouse, all you got to do is just track your mouse over, click start stream. And then where this can also come in handy is if you're running a digital lighting system and you have your lights running through like a Mac Mini, like I see a lot of churches doing.
Sure.
You set that up as well on that computer. So now you can control all three computers with one keyboard and mouse. And this is optional. It's not like you set up Synergy and you have to only use that. You can still use other mouse and keyboards, but if you need it, you can control everything with that one mouse and keyboard. So for me, I'm using it in my office here with a Mac and a PC. I even had a tech guy, an IT guy I saw using it. He had a Mac computer, a Windows computer, and then he also had his Android tablet and his Linux laptop, and he had all of them running with just one keyboard and mouse. It was insane. It was awesome. So check it out, Synergy. You can get it at symless.com, SYMLESS.com. And it's not free. It's $29. But you pay once, and that covers all the computers, right? So you just pay for your one license. You can also upgrade to Pro. I haven't done that yet. It gives you a few more options like clipboard sharing. So if you want to copy something on one computer and paste it on another, like a website or some notes, you can actually carry your clipboard across multiple computers. That's the Pro version for just $10 more. So it is a small investment, but man, it saves me so much time and it's so awesome. And the cool thing is you can set it up to where it boots up, it opens automatically when you boot. So just as a bonus, once you install it, you really don't have to touch it again because it's just always on. It's really cool. Do you have any other uses for it that I missed?
I used it back in, I want to say it was like 06 or 07. I guess it was 07, because in 07 is when I switched over to Mac. So I had my black 13-inch MacBook Pro, or MacBook, right? And that was what I was doing my creative work on. So I was making, at this time I was working for, doing like marketing for it's interesting, I was doing marketing and infrastructure for a insurance company. And so I would be like making the brochures, I'd be making the member pack, the book and all this kind of stuff, doing all that on my Mac. But I was also managing the entire phone system on a PC. So and I had like a spreadsheet, right? So I had a PC sitting next to me, and I had the Mac. So I'd be on my Mac, and I would have the spreadsheet that basically had different people with their extensions and or how calls were supposed to flow or something like that. And then I'd go over to the Mac or to the PC, and I would put this stuff in the system and I would test it, and then I would come back over. And so it was neat, and I had the pro version, so I could actually copy the clipboard, which was really important because I would be gathering a piece of information that I needed to make note of from the phone system. I'd copy that out, and then I'd add it to the spreadsheet. Then I would take this other piece of information and go over that. I mean, it was wonderful. It was the coolest thing. I could be browsing a website over here, not taking up any resources on my Mac. And it's like, oh, I need to use that image, or I need to grab this font or something, and I would just drag it from one over to the other. And it did that as well, dragging and dropping stuff. As long as it was like something common. If it wasn't common, if it was like an exe file or something, it would just come over and be useless. So anyway, it was really cool. I really like Synergy. It's been around for a long time. It's rock solid. It's really good. Can't recommend it enough. I think for our video, Justin's going to do a just kind of a little demo about how you can work it, in between the two machines, and some of the cool features that it has. It's really neat when you see it in action. Anyway, that's cool. Hang on. Okay. By the way, guys, tips, tricks, hacks, cheats, all that kind of stuff, things that make our work a little easier, is something that Justin and I have really, really been depending on for most of our creative and professional lives. So much so that we decided to make a little group on Facebook called Church Media Hacks. So if you guys go to churchmediahacks.com, it'll take you right to the private group, and you guys can click to join. And if we think you're cool enough, we'll let you in. Basically, we want you, if you're a church creative, if you're a minister, if you're a lead pastor, if you're a secretary tasked with a whole bunch of stuff, youth minister, whatever, whoever you are in a ministry and you want to learn how to do things maybe a little more easy, learn about cool tools, learn about ways to take A and B that are not meant to be together, and smush them together and come up with a fantastic C. That's all the kind of stuff that we talk about over there. So go check it out. Justin, what kind of stuff have you seen that you have it's been useful for you over in the Church Media Hacks group?
Well, let's see. First of all, it's okay. So this one is not so much like a hack, but it was an article on VR Church.
Oh,
and
yeah.
it was walking through basically someone attending a church in VR. They had their Oculus on, and they were in a virtual sanctuary. And we kind of had some discussion about that. And I know you were talking about Ready Player One.
Yeah.
We had a really interesting discussion about plaid and stripes on stage. If anyone had any checklists or any resources about that, that's something I've never thought of.
Yeah.
But we had the Church Hacks people. Drew was talking about Roland video mixers. That's all your stuff.
Yeah.
And then we're just sharing kind of stuff to get us in between. I know we put out quite a bit of content as Church Training Academy, but this is a place where everyone, including you and me, can share things that are just about, having the right mindset, having the right tools, finding the right tools. I know people are asking about, hey, does this equipment work, or does this software work? Has anyone used it? But also just getting each other, in the same mindset, and remembering that we're on the same team, that we're not in this alone. And, Church Media Hacks, there's other church media groups out there, but Dave, correct me if I'm wrong, we're church media hackers. We're the ones that are in the down and dirty.
Yeah.
Really having to get it done ourselves. We're getting our hands dirty. We don't have a team that we can just say, hey, I'm going to delegate this to you, delegate to this to you. I have a guy that's been doing video for 30 years, and I have a guy with live streaming experience with ESPN, and I have a graphic designer who's done Disney graphic. No, we don't have any of that. It's just you. It's just us, right?
Right. Yeah.
And so that's what Church Media Hacks is all about, is, those 1, 2, 3-man bands, the media teams that are all volunteers, how to get the job done better, faster, and easier, and come under budget, so we can be the heroes every day. That's what Church Media Hacks is about.
Yeah,
so
I agree.
churchmediahacks.com.
Yeah.
Come on.
There you go. Come on, do it. You know what? In the last 3 days, I think we've had over 20 people join the group, which is really cool. I love it when there's these little waves of folks coming in. It's like all this new blood, these new ideas, new folks from a bunch of different areas in the church. I'm getting lead pastors in there. I'm getting, church secretaries that, now I have to do this sort of stuff and I don't know how to do it. I love it. So anybody and everybody is welcome. We really enjoy getting to hang out with you guys in there.
Yeah, they just surpassed the half mark.
Yeah.
They just surpassed the 50% mark of our page versus the group. So the group is catching up to the page.
Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, you ready for the feature presentation?
Not yet. Hang on.
Okay, yes.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-da-bum. And now our feature presentation.
It's like you have play on and play off music, for the awards show.
Oh, here comes the hook.
Don't play me off. Don't stop the music. All right, guys, let's see here. Here is a clip. It's about 9 minutes or so of our talk with Michael. We actually have a lot of meat in here, so everybody grab something and take some notes. Justin, real quick, are you going to have to dive during this?
I will. Yeah, so you'll have to do the intro.
No problem. I will take it from there. Michael Lukaczewski is the founder of Church Fuel, an organization that is committed to providing insanely practical resources to help move the church forward. He is a husband, he is a pastor at heart, and he lives with his wife and kids in Atlanta. Michael, thank you so much, my brother, for taking the time to hang out with the Church Media guys.
Well, I am excited about hanging out with the Church Media guys today. This will be fun.
One of the things that Justin and I run into in doing what we do, we train and equip small and medium-sized churches how to exploit the technology and use it to share the gospel. We've each run into this at various levels in our own church and the ministry areas that we serve there. But we also have a lot of our viewers, and it's really interesting. Some of them are older folks, like our parents' age, and they're saying,
Sure.
How do I help my pastor get past this, well, that's not the way we've always done it type of mentality or thinking, it's worked this way for the past 25 years. How do you get past that? Because I just want to go in with a wrecking ball and say, yeah, it worked 25 years ago when you had 500, now you have 80. So it's not.
Yeah, it's a tough question. And so, I think there are definitely tools and tactics and strategies that we can do. But, that question of, which is, I know is our topic today, it's like if our church is stuck, right? We feel like it's stuck in the past. And so that's something we as leaders know. Like we go, hey, we're doing things the way that used to work 25 years ago. It doesn't work that way anymore. But how do you bridge that gap between those two things? And it's a tension, right? Because we as leaders will always want to push our church forward. But people, I don't care whether they've been there for 25 years or 25 minutes, people like it the way they like it. And so, we all like things the way that we like things. And it's not sometimes a matter of right or wrong. It's a matter of effective and not effective. And sometimes I get attached to things that are not as effective, but I'm still used to it. And I'd rather have what I'm used to, even if it's not as effective. And so I think that's part of human nature. And so one of the things that I would always say to start with is to really try to give people the benefit of the doubt. And I know it's hard, so when somebody that comes and says, our church needs to change, or these people won't change, or why do we have to do it this way? They have their preferences just like we have their preferences, even though they're outdated, even though they may be irrational, even though it may be from technology that's 15 years old. The people in general, let's try to give them the benefit of the doubt. And one of the things we talk about in leading this is that people struggling to adapt to this changing culture, they really don't need somebody to come along and lecture them or beat them over the head. They need somebody to pastor and shepherd them through those changes that they may or may not like.
That makes sense. We've talked about that a little bit with Jeanette Yates about, showing empathy to people that like the way it is. They're comfortable. And for many of the older folk, it's church has been one thing. The world has changed for them over 30 years, but the church has kind of been the same.
Yep.
We've adjusted a few things, but since the Jesus movement to the worship wars in those 40 years, not much changed.
Yep.
And so that's a lot. And you talk about, you actually draw a really good lesson from the transition from Joshua to Moses, and recognizing the past and not exclusively focusing on the future. How can we implement that, like me? Because I'm not I'm very thick-skinned. I have a hard time with empathy. I'm trying to learn. But so how can I recognize what we've done, but also still move forward? So it's kind of like facing forward, but maybe your head's to the back. Can you explain that to me and maybe other thick-skinned individuals?
Yeah, and I'm that way too. I think there's a lot of us that are that way. So maybe we need a support group or something. But I love that story. Anonymous. Yes, yeah, absolutely. I love that story of Moses and Joshua, right? Because Moses led the people. God prepared him for a really long time. And then he led the people through a really important time. But he didn't get to go all the way, right? He didn't get to go the final step into the promised land. And Joshua Joshua takes over, who had been there. He had some credibility. The people knew him. But when Joshua took over from leadership, basically the people said, hey, as we followed Moses, we're going to follow you. And so there was this connection from hey, as this happened in the past, we saw you with Moses the whole time. You're not a new Moses. You're not a Moses number 2. You're a different person. But like we followed Moses, we're going to follow you. And I think it's real easy for those of us in leadership to come into a new setting, or maybe we want to change, and we throw out the past instead of building on it. And I think great leaders, they acknowledge the sacrifices that people made in the past. So that, you mentioned the worship wars, Justin. Somebody fought a war to get it like that, the way it was, and we're fighting a new war to get it to change to what we wanted it to change to. But somebody somebody fought through a ton of battles to make it the way it was, and just recognizing that. And I think, there's some sacrifices that happened before we showed up, and acknowledging that is sometimes a great thing to do.
I got your article of, what to do when your church is stuck in the past. And the next thing you talk about is finding common ground. So we've kind of figured out where they're coming from. We're recognizing where we've come from, right? And so just, how they see it, and then where we've come from to where we are now. And now you talk about finding common ground. So I'm trying to move forward here. They're trying to stay still. But you're talking about finding common ground. How does that kind of start the shift? And what does that do when you're trying to move forward on a project?
Yeah. I think it's that Venn diagram, the 2 circles where there's that little part in the middle that overlaps. And so let's say you've got the old way of doing things, in one circle, and you've got the new way of doing things in the other circle. You've got the old mission and the new mission. Well, there's got to be some places where they overlap. And so I think a lot of times we try to focus on tactics. Like we want to change we need to remodel the building, big change. We need to change our worship style, big change. So we go through these very big, visible, fight it out kind of things. And maybe that's not the first battle we want to fight. Maybe the first thing we want to do is go, okay, in the old way and the new way, what's in common? And so is there a mission that we would say, at least agree on? Hey, we want to reach our community. Is there a local school that needs help? That's not really a style but it's like, can the old and the new fight together on a project that doesn't have this high passion of I want to do it this way, I want to do it this way? Can we feed the poor? Can we clothe the needy? Right? Can we do something together and get a win? Because the win is working together, right? We just got to work together, and let that kind of springboard us into where we need to go.
That kind of dovetails into, I think, the one of the points that you make in your article about appealing to the emotion and not the logic. Logic says, hey, the building, needs to be updated and repaired and stuff, because we don't, we look like, we're in our heyday of 1988, and everybody else is, well beyond this just in design aesthetics. It's like your grandmother's, sofa with the plastic still on it, and everyone else is like sitting on like those
cushy chairs.
Yeah, those beanbag things. But how do you teach and encourage folks to appeal to the emotion without trying to manipulate them, without trying to be so hyperbolic and say, hey, listen, you can let people go to hell, or we can do this. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Which seems like a really overly dramatic way to, and we do that all the time, because it's like we pull out the bazooka,
right,
all at once. And it's like, maybe we should have had a conversation at first, So I think the example that I use in the article is somebody that, comes and says, I miss the old songs. I miss the old songs. Well, we could easily pull out a Bible verse and say, times are changing, get with the program, all that kind of stuff. That's a fact-based. That is true. Times are changing, right?
Sure.
That is a fact. Emotion would be like, hey, these new songs that we're singing, they're really not for you. They're for your grandkids.
Right.
And so that kind of puts a face on it. It puts a story behind it. And so stories do way better than facts in this. One thing we say all the time at Church Fuel is facts will inform, but stories will inspire. And what do you want to do? You want to inspire someone, or do you want to inform somebody? I don't really need them to know the dates, times, and the bullet points and see the PowerPoint presentation. What I need them to do is be moved and that's probably going to be a story. That's probably going to be emotion rather than fact. And in the end, it's going to work better.
Great stuff from Michael. He's a wealth of information. He really puts a practical way of looking at this. Like I said, you take our conversation with Jeanette Yates, and then you take this, and it's like this wonderful little power pack of good information for bringing the older generation along, taking some of the people that are just stuck in the ways of the past and bringing them along, and moving the entire body and ministry forward, whether it's through ways of communication or technology. That's not the, doesn't matter what the cool thing is or the next level thing is. It's just getting them to buy in and move forward with that, to accomplish the goals that the church has. And if we're all on the same page with the same goals, that we want to reach people, we want to share the gospel, we want to change people's lives, etc., missional type goals and stuff, then everybody should be on the same page. It's just a matter of helping folks understand the new methods of doing that. So great information. You guys can check him out over at churchfuel.com. Fantastic resources, fantastic insights and all that from Michael. Michael, thank you so much for being a part of our show. Now, guys, if you guys are... Try that one more time. Now, if you're interested in learning how you can become a part of the Church Training Academy, then you can become a church insider, CTA, blah, I can't say it, CTA Insider by going to churchtrainingacademy.com/join. When you join Church Training Academy, you're going to have access to our training library in our member section. You're going to have access to our private Facebook group, the CTA Insiders group, which actually I've seen some of you try to join, and I've had to say, sorry, this is for members only. That is for members. This is where all of our CTA insiders come together and work together, help each other out, whatever's going on. We share information, we share tactics, we share ideas. We help each other get through little breakthroughs. Someone's having a problem with a live stream. Why is it doing this? We all just kind of tackle it in there. We even go a step further by having a bi-weekly, I think that's what it is. I always get bi-weekly, semi-annually, semi-monthly, every 2 weeks, we get together for a live coaching session, a group coaching session, where Justin and I and our insiders sit down and go through whatever's going on. Everybody can share their successes, things that they have, hey, we were having this problem, but I figured this out, so I wanted to let everybody know about this. And people are sitting there taking notes. Okay, when we come up to this problem, we'll know what to do. We work through issues. Justin sometimes does a website audit. I do a live stream audit. I do video audits in there. Just whatever the community needs. Someone's having a problem, got a roadblock, we all tackle it together. Not just me and Justin, but everybody else in there, because other people have insights that maybe Justin and I haven't thought of. So anyway, that's our bi-weekly mastermind group coaching session that we do in there. So that right there is worth the price of admission. I can tell you that. Everybody is upping their game, 2 weeks at a time, it seems, because there's stuff that people are trying, and then they come back and they tell us how it's working and stuff. It's fantastic time for all. So anyway, churchtrainingacademy.com/join. If you want to become an insider, we would love to have you. We'd love to come alongside you and help you take your message beyond the walls of your church, change lives, and just make a difference for the kingdom. And by the way, guys, okay, totally left me. I'm sorry. I did not have those of y'all watching live. Anybody still watching live? Those of you that are watching live, I did not have my Red Bull today. That's why I'm kind of bleh right now. Sorry about that. Now take this, take your pro tips, take the hacks, take everything that we are teaching you guys, and go out there and change lives. Oh yeah, that was that. All right. If anyone has anything in the chat room, say so now or forever hold your peace, because I've got some stuff I got to start editing. Thanks, everybody, for joining us live, and thanks for watching the replay, everyone. And we hope that you all have a fantastic week. If this is any time where you're staring down the barrel of Sunday, then hopefully this has been an inspiration to you guys. Have a fantastic weekend, and go out there, like I said, and go change lives.